That did not pop back over to the mainstream. That's okay. I don't have this one set up yet.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What a day.
The actual day of this first episode for BUIDLabs Pod. We have an amazing guest, two guests, which we have actually prepared some questions. We're super excited to have this actual, amazing pod with you guys. And at the same time, this is going to be our first pod together, Van Ho and Tom and me. We're going to be doing these sessions every Thursday at 2 p.m. EST. Probably, I'm sure we're going to have like times where the pod will change times, or do you think we're going to keep it like this religiously?
I think it's going to be later in the evening. I think this one we actually made a special time for Inhuman and Urban to be on today. So, but TBA, let's just say time be announced each time.
But I'm super excited, and also super excited to have Tom. I really want to see this new face for Tom as an actual, you know.
It is a face for radio. I will say that, but yeah.
I love it. I love it. But he's so happy to be here with the family and being able to, enjoy this. I am Luana. I'm a marketing and design expert. I love to support, founders to craft their story and turn, that vision into a brand. And super excited to be one of the hosts for this awesome new phase of BUIDLabs and definitely Biddle Mode as well.
Yes. And I'm Van Ho. I'm a community builder. Always have been at heart. My focus has always been on people, how to make communities feel more empowered, connected, and ready to grow together. And yeah, excited to grow like the BUIDLabs fam as well. So excited to be here today.
I'm Tom, a co-founder of Goated Guild, advisor to multiple emerging Web3 games, including Leah and Eternium, also to some DeFi projects, Moonshot Boxes and Calendar. So my thing is advising games and helping bring them to market effectively.
Oh my God. I mean, he's definitely the goat here.
Self-proclaimed.
But together we're going to be hosts for all these special sessions, and our guest is one of the biggest. I joined, I guess, the Web3 gaming with Cocody back in what 2023, 2024. I was the CMO for that game, and I was able to, meet, in human so many times. And I have been a big follower of his content, so super excited. But always known for those really sharp critiques on Web3 gaming. And I am super excited to have you as a guest today in Human. Welcome to BUIDLabs.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
No, thank you to you. And thank you, Urban, as well. I know Venho actually was able to look a little bit into what you guys are building, which is Shiny. And I just want you guys to kind of like give us an introduction on you individually and definitely what Shiny means for you guys.
Well, I guess you already kind of covered the TLDR of me. As for Shiny, we are a RWA platform geared towards collectors, mainly retail. You'll be able to go to Shiny, you'll be able to open up mystery packs, you'll be able to trade them, you'll be able to buy and sell them. Basically the general summary of the product. We can't really say too much more than that unless Urban wants to wait in a little bit more, just for pre-launch things.
Absolutely love that. So I kind of noticed as well, like stalking you and also following you for a while, that you're really big on TCGs, right? You guys kind of encompass that into your company as well. And I know that you're really big on collecting things like One Piece and Pokemon, which my son is obsessed with One Piece. Like he will be gaming and in the background he'll be like, ho, 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 and I'm like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So we have like our little autistic like sound effects that we do from the show. But how long have you been collecting? And do you think that founders need deep niche knowledge to succeed?
I'm so deep into One Piece that I know both the characters' laughs even. I'm a huge One Piece fan. Yeah. I've been collecting TCG, since I was a kid, like past 20 or so years. I did some Magic the Gathering competitive. I've done Hearthstone competitive. On top of that, I've always been big in like the digital collector aspect as well. Between Hearthstone and MTG Online, like it sucks to spend so much money on the cards that you just don't own. So I kind of just stopped doing that. I moved to Parallel. I was very, very early to Parallel. So I've always been interested in collecting basically TCG.
Have you ever heard of Soulforge Fusion? Do you guys like them? I have like all of their cards like in person. It's like pretty crazy. But just like Parallel, they're, TCG game online, but have the, the physicals they can hold.
It's a good game. But
I like it. But if you like
it.
Magic, I think it's made by somebody who created it, right?
Richard Garfield, creator of Magic the Gathering, is like the co-founder or co-creator of Soulforge. But I always have great respect for people who've played MTG because like I think it takes a special kind of person to be good at that game.
Yeah.
He says, having been to Worlds, like I don't know, I just feel like people who can stick with such a complicated game and truly master it really understand gaming, really understand strategy. And you two obviously come from esports, so you've both got that competitive edge in gaming under your belts. And it's kind of like a mindset, isn't it? Doing your best with what you have, trying to find optimizations and so on. And do you think that like that kind of background, that competitive background, influences the way that you lead? Whether it's like hiring or community growth or scaling. Like, are you very competitive in the way you lead the company? I know it's obviously quite young.
Yeah, actually, I was actually made a tweet or two about this the other day, and that I noticed a lot of parallels in building a product and honestly RuneScape. Your priority mindset, like what is more important to finish first, what affects what whenever you're building out the entire product. I'm trying to think of an example without leaking anything.
You can leak, it's fine.
Oh
Yeah,
no, not yet. For example, like prioritizing like our supply ahead of time and time constraints to like our launch periods, Obviously, procurement's the biggest thing with RWA right now. A lot of the companies are having a hard time getting their supply. Deciding like, okay, we have X amount of time until we launch. So at what point should we start shoveling our funds into procurement versus like development, or which development aspects should we prioritize in the grand products that we know like what's working versus not and stuff like that. So I mean, it definitely has parallels to it.
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking of like the parallel game too. It's in my head. I'm like, that was such a good event when we went to the Vegas championship for parallel. It was a really good time. Like, they had the best merch. I'm such a merch head.
Yes, parallelism is amazing.
Luana.
I think that there's like two things that I really want to definitely talk about, and it's not only about the side of like what shiny means to you guys, but also the part of you being in both of sides, like not only competing but also coaching. And if I'm not mistaken, it was in Apex. That was exactly the how you started coaching.
I assume that's for me. Yeah, I did some competing and coaching and management over in Apex prior to moving over into the Web3 side.
And what was that transition like for you? Did anything surprise you moving from sports into this space and specifically?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of differences. I mean, even if you look at the day to day, I mean, people in esports are doing, a lot of people are doing 16-hour days trying to compete, making $3 an hour. So definitely going to the Web3 space where I know my first kind of encounter with that was with a big influencer who was making 50 grand a month off a couple tweets and TikTok videos, and just a completely different world.
One day.
Yeah.
Someday, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a completely different world for some people there, and definitely a lot of differences, even just like the stickiness of users, and where the kind of priorities lie in that, and yeah.
Are you still actually coaching, or you stopped doing it and just completely?
Yeah, I stopped doing that when I left Apex over to Web3. It's just, I mean, the big thing there is, those are all kind of full-time commitments. I mean, with every update that comes to a game, the meta changes. You can't do that if you're not, full-time committed to it.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Sounds like Web3 already. Constant. But Shiny isn't the first platform of its kind. What problems did earlier ones run into, and how is Shinily? Oh my god. Shinily. How is Shiny tackling things differently?
I think the big thing there is kind of just looking at RWA as a whole, and I believe in Human said earlier, just talking about kind of the Vigils trend that's happened in the past. I could be wrong, but I think the big thing that we're trying to do with Shiny is just look at the overall product as a whole and what it should be at a very basic level. And I think for us compared to competitors, that is unfortunately a separation. Just kind of in having a trusted platform that you can understand that, hey, this NFT does mean this item. This item does exist in our in our custody. We're not leveraging any weird third parties. Trying to just leverage some of the tech that exists for just on-chain solutions. So for example, verifiable randomness. So hey, you're opening something random. Yes, that that is actually happening. We're not just saying, oh, you got the worst hit. Unfortunate. Go next. So without saying too much, like I think the big thing is just the simplicity of trying to do the product right.
Right.
I think verifiable randomness is a massive strength, isn't it? When you're gambling with large sums of money.
So actually, like, a big move into my Web3 was in gambling. I did that for a little over 2 years, and that, like, no one would touch a product if it didn't have that. Like, it's insane. When I moved away from that and started kind of seeing the greater game, like I'll put quotations, gaming options in Web3, and seeing that this isn't a standard, or even how some of these things are run, it's insane. Like, it wouldn't fly in the gambling space.
Right. And I mean, right now you are like very deep into this, like the digital, TCGs, but do you see this expanding into even more? Like, how big is the vision between you guys with Shiny?
You know, I think we refrain from trying to give out too much of our master plan stuff. Like, also just because, you know, we want to
I
do
think
what's
that outside of leaking anything, it's a no-brainer that obviously we would want to expand from more than just Pokemon, right? In terms of what that looks like 6 months to a year from now, we can't exactly answer, you know, in detail yet. But you know, obviously, the product is going to be bigger than just Pokemon.
Is it going to be bigger than just cards?
I can't answer that yet. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
That's a yes, everyone.
You heard it
Definitely
here
sign up. Big things coming.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to open yachts? You know, we'll have some, you know, yacht crates on the website. You know?
That would be great,
Ooh.
though, wouldn't it? It's the only way I'm going to own a yacht, mate. So that would be great. So you guys have done quite well in terms of traction, haven't you? Like, I think, was it 5,000 signups you had? You've got like thousands of people in the Discord, and you've spent nothing. So, like, how have you managed to get so much traction? What's your kind of core strategy for authentic community building?
I mean, so to clarify here to begin with, we have been working on this product for probably about 7 months now, between like pre-production, development work, and everything like that. The RWA surge meta, kind of just a coincidence. We didn't plan to announce until a little bit closer to launch, but due to the temporary traction, we decided to go live with a few things like the Discord and the Twitter and stuff like that, which definitely helped. We have questing on the website for pre-reg, which is kind of a bit of the social growth that we're experiencing. Obviously, I don't believe in Web3 agencies are paying for temporary marketing when I'd rather build long-term relations with people. I think it's just a combination of there being a clear hole in the market, which is why we were building to begin with, and good timing with the social traction.
So you kind of front run the narrative. It's brilliant when you can do that. Like, you must have been rubbing your hands together when you saw this popping off everywhere.
Yeah, we had a moment in Discord where we were like, hey, like, we didn't want to announce for another month or two here. Like, should we just give her? And I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And everyone's like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. And then we did, and then it worked out great. So
my next question you guys have already answered. So I was trying to like just fill into my head something that isn't already listed, and I hope you guys are okay with this. But how did you guys get your name Shiny? Like, I tried to look into this before, and maybe I'm just terrible at researching, or maybe I'm a little tired because building requires sleepless nights. But where did you guys get that name? Was it, you know, are we given holographic vibes from like opening Pokemon cards? Those are like the most valuable ones. Like, how did you guys come up with the name Shiny?
we had a few different ugly names to begin with internally that were pretty cringe because we had no idea that we would be able to land such a name like this. But Shiny in terms of cardboard is like, we call it shiny cardboard. It's like a slang. There's shiny Pokemon. There's a lot of different relations to the term, and we were like, okay, like, we have the ability to do this, like, let's just do it, you know. Luxury collectibles, you know, they're shiny. Jewelry, shiny, you know, there's a lot to it. So we were like, well, this fits the product, right? And and you think of any brands that's like really big, the name of the brand has like a direct tie into their product. So it was a perfect fit for us.
I love that.
Yeah.
Some companies would spend like hundreds of thousands to get a name like that. You know?
Well,
yeah. It almost takes me back to like Moana when that So Shiny song comes on. Oh my God, my kids were obsessed with that movie.
I had hopped in a call with somebody this past week, and when they joined the call, they were singing it, and I was.
So this is what you have to look forward to.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah, not the first time, but yeah, I think another thing with the name Shiny for us is, you know, especially in this space, you know, I think a lot of founders kind of discredit the kind of value and credibility. Like, there's so many different scams and, you know, phishing links and stuff like that, and I've talked to Inhuman in the past when it comes to games, and they're like, oh, here's the download link, and it's like a 40-digit URL, and I'm like, I don't want to click that.
No.
You know, so I think for us, like, a part of, you know, making sure that we kind of acquired a name that kind of instilled a little bit of trust is just in the fact of, I mean, you have to be trusted, right? Like, even for new users, like for our referral program, right? I think it's a lot easier for people to be like, oh, it's shiny.com rather than some 15-character .xyz.
You guys landed shiny.com. That's crazy.
It wouldn't be
You
as
tell
good
me
if
you
it
haven't
was
signed
like
up yet? Hold on.
No. I did sign up, but it was like when he had first dropped the link. So I'm stupid and I just clicked it. I didn't even look at the website. So I was like, oh, Inhumans posting this. I'm clicking it. I didn't even look at the URL or anything, but like, wow, that's amazing. Surprised that was available.
Yeah, if it was like shiny net.webstore.url. Whatever.
.io,
It would look yeah.
Shiny.fun.rip.io.
Right.
.xyz.
We're not dissing .fun extensions at the moment, please. Thank you very much. They'll become apparent later. .fun is solid, right? But yeah, no, .com is definitely the winner to that.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. And I mean, I know we were talking about a lot about the community and you guys in the project. And I don't like to talk about the marketing, the part of the market. But how it is, in fact, like the situation between scarcity and, so like kind of like the amount of cards and all that is happening in case the market gets kind of chaotic. Like, how do you guys are managing inventory or pricing without hurting the perceived value of that asset or that item?
So, I mean, it's a rather complex question.
Mm-hmm.
The market in TCG is rather crazy right now. Obviously, as a collector of 20 years, I have a very good understanding of the fluctuations and trends that happen. It doesn't necessarily affect our product, but in terms of buying, I do try very hard to look at market trends before purchasing stuff so that we have, a safe inventory along with an inventory that's valuable to the user still. A lot of our supply, I mean, 99% of it is just stuff that people would want to have regardless. Like, full arts, popular Pokemon. There's no filler, basically, is the easiest way of saying it. We don't have bulk graded cards or anything that's like ugly. So, I mean, there's still perceived value in the art. There's perceived value in the scarcity of the cards that we have. Hopefully that answers the question.
It kind of comes back to knowing about TCGs, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah,
if you know what it, like, if I went on a website and I looked at values, I might buy some PSA graded 10 thing for far more than it's worth just because it's so rare. Whereas in reality, no one's going to pay that. But when you have domain specific knowledge, you can make those decisions.
Yeah, one of the strategies I guess we'll throw out there too that competitors are using right now is they're going to conventions and they're buying. There's different grading services. There's PSA and CGC for the context of this. CGC is not respected. You can buy them at 50% of market normally. They're buying these at 40% of market. So say there's a $10,000 card, they buy it at $4,000 and they list it at $10,000 to their users, and it's taking advantage of people in crypto who are brand new to the hobby and don't understand. So they think they have a $10,000 card when it's really a $4,000 card.
Whoa.
What does a $10,000 card look like, though?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of them. The hobby is crazy. There's so many scarce cards that are very high demand that go for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Like, your first edition Charizards for me. Like, I'm a basic bitch. I like Charizards.
What has been like the most expensive you have seen so far?
Oh, I mean, there's cards that go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. There was a Pikachu illustration card that's vintage. It's very, very rare. I think there's only like 10 of them in existence, and one just sold for $4 million in a PSA 10.
I'm about to Google the most expensive Pokemon card to date.
I can tell you the most expensive Magic the Gathering card was a special one of one, the One Ring, that some music guy bought for like millions of dollars.
Some music guy.
I'm old.
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Post Malone. Yeah.
Some music guy. What?
Some music guy.
Post
Dude, like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The 1998 Illustrator Pikachu went for $5 million, almost $6 million. Let me share.
40 Bitcoin.
Is that not? Is that who bought it though?
Oh, there was a recent sale of this that just happened. Actually, I have that Korokoro Mew on my desk right now. Raw. It's funny.
Oh.
It's my favorite Mew card.
My dad got me one for my birthday when I turned like 10, I think, and it was holographic. I don't know what he had to do to get it, but it was before people were coming out with like fake cards, right? And so me not understanding that the market was still going, when I turned like, I think 21, I gave my entire Pokemon collection to my nephew. who was 5. So I sometimes want to be like, yo, what kind of do you have my card still? But like, he's still very into Pokemon. I'm sure they're like shredded up or something, and I'm like mad about it.
Van Ho.
Live and learn.
I cry right now.
I'm I cry when I think about it. Like, you was my favorite.
Your nephew is currently chewing on like quarter of a mil.
He has his dad buy expensive ones from like, you know, we have like a DC Comics or something like that, and his dad, you know, only sees him like ever so often, and so he will be like, Dad, buy me this card, and I like gasp at like $200, not knowing there's $5 million going into cards over here. So yeah, I'll never forget this conversation. So good talk. Let's get back.
Yeah,
to
it's funny to think about how we were walking around as kids with like binders that would be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars now, and we were throwing in the mud and the dirt when we were kids on the playground.
Do you
Trying to
guys
peel the shiny off.
do you remember though they had ones that were stickers? And so I do remember one time shredding a holographic card because I thought it was a sticker.
Oh, like peeling the hollow off the
Yeah.
cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was the card.
I know. It has happened though.
But
Nice.
anyways, this question, I hope it doesn't offend, but you know, you were a sharp Web3 critic before, and a lot of people might have disagreed, but I feel like you've always been spot on with anything you've ever said. So I don't know why they're so mad, because you was right. Anyways, did that open doors for Shiny? Who's been the most instrumental in helping you along the way?
I wouldn't necessarily say that aspect of things open doors. You know, building a network over the past few years definitely has. It definitely opens doors for more criticism towards the product, which is why I'm very firm in believing that we need to launch perfectly. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, in the way that I've built myself, a lot of people are hate watching, and that puts a lot of extra pressure, but also motivation on our team to deliver like the best product we possibly can.
Yeah.
I love the term hate watching. Like they just
Hate
say like,
watching.
fail,
It's like
you bastard.
lurking, you know?
Yeah.
We pushed our announcement live, and immediately people were like, "Oh, you don't own that domain. You guys are lying about the domain." That was like the FUD, and people sending me messages of like group chats and stuff that they think they're being sneaky, and they're like, "Yeah, look at he's lying about the domain and stuff." And like we pushed it live a few weeks later. Like, why would we lie about that?
It's crazy, isn't it? Like people are such bad losers, you know?
I know.
Like generally. And I gotta say as well, like, I agree with 99% of all your takes. Like, and you've been proven time and time again to be right.
The only times I've ever disagreed were times that I worked on those teams, and I was like, "Oh, we're building in the back," you know. But I now have like, he was right, I was wrong. Glad I never said anything.
I think looping back to one of the things about esports that both me and Human come from is it is nothing but criticism there. Like it's, you know, if something's not right, you speak up about it and you just hope that somebody hears you. It's like scream it as loud as you can and just hope a developer somewhere says, you know what, this is right, let's change it. Because all you want to do is for the product to win, right? You want to succeed. You want the game to succeed, especially when you're a competitor and your career rides on this succeeding, right? Like if the game shuts down, you're looking for a new game to play. So I think coming over to Web3, where everyone has, you know, such like bag bias with everything, right? Whether you're working on it, whether you're invested in it, it's very different from games where it's like you just need that game to succeed, and it's not going to succeed by you kind of just sitting back and be like, oh, they'll do it right? You have to speak up and just be like, please, like this is our feedback. Like just I beg you, consider it.
So
that is to say, everything I've said has been not to shit on everything, but honestly to push the space forward to a point where there's actually enjoyable product.
Yeah, and save people money. But you know, let's take that criticism a bit further then. Bit of a tricky question, but if you were to turn that kind of critical lens on what you're building, what would you say is the biggest risk that you'd possibly call out, and like how are you working to address that? So it doesn't have to be Shiny specific, but in terms of these sorts of platforms, how would you critique them?
I'll point it directly at Shiny. Why not? Our biggest risk right now is definitely our go-to-market strategy being completely organic. It gets mixed feelings from people, but it's in confidence in our product and the way that we're building ourselves, relying on trust and transparency and our network, basically. We expect people who go and use our product to realize immediately that it's just that much better than everyone else's and just continue using it. So that's really the biggest risk is, can we capture our users and keep turning that over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to spin it around at other people too. I mean, if we want to go, if we want to go both
Do it.
sides.
You
Do
guys
it.
think I'm spicy. Wait till Web3 finds out about this guy for real.
Oh my god. You know
Um,
what's funny is like researching him when I asked Grok, because I was like, waiting on the synopsis. It told me he was like the biggest Web3 critic, and I was like, is this how they met? Like they were just like
Oh,
sharing views one day, and they were like, oh yeah, like you're spot on with that. Like it just made me laugh, and I was like, you know what though? But like I think that the space needs that. There's so many people here that build and don't understand what it's like to build in this industry. They may take like some of the knowledge that they had in Web 2, but I just feel like sometimes the rules aren't the same, and so I don't know, reading that from Grok today, which it told me like all kinds of information. Grok is scary, guys, first of all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing it had mentioned was it just made me laugh because I'm like, what is a Web3 critic? Like, what does that even mean? Like, like
yeah, I think on my side, like I've never vied for a platform in Web3. It's not something I want or never want. I'm not looking for sponsored bags or anything of that sort in this space. So I think for me, it's just the only time I ever say anything is if I'm like, okay, like someone needs to say something about what's going on over here. So I think for Grok, it just picks that up.
But it is kind of funny though, isn't it? Like, if there is one thing the space needs, I would say it is authenticity. People are very happy to take money under the table and say how good something is.
I think it's hard on a platform side because even if it's necessary, people don't necessarily want to see it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll continue there. I think one of the risks and ourselves versus competitors, and something I talked to Inhuman about is, I think even one of the biggest risks to us is not competitors succeeding, but kind of competitors tearing us down with them. Just because of some of the conduct, whether that's from like regulatory view of them doing things that end up shifting that, or just tearing down kind of trust and space in an area that needs it. I mean, if we kind of look at what they do, and not naming names of individual products, but as Inhuman said, like platforms selling $10,000 card or $4,000 cards is $10,000 cards, right? And basically defrauding users. I mean, obviously that's not great, but if we look beyond that, I mean, there's some relative legal terms, illegal gambling offerings. In market research, we've seen customs fraud. We've seen, we've seen a lot of illegal or very unsatisfactory conduct from some of these other sites, and I think one of the risks is just that we kind of have a similar to crypto, a kind of like FTX situation, right, where it takes the space years to kind of rebuild that interest in it just because of how some of these products conduct themselves.
Yes, for sure. And now that you are kind of like talking about, that part of clarity for from the founder side, and definitely, what should be the strategy, versus, kind of reaction thing. Are you building with compliance baked in from day one, or you're just kind of waiting and adjusting on the terms of like, regulations, for example?
I think we're looking at it as being as compliant as possible. I think every platform in the RWA space should be, and I don't think it should be accepted to be otherwise. Because let's think of it like this, right? Let's say you had $50,000 of product in somebody's vault somewhere. Do you want them, potentially having the SEC or the FTC or whoever else showing up at their door, while you then try to say, "Oh no, my products say that I own this card. Can you send it out to me?" Like I think there's a lot of misplaced trust in the current side.
Yes.
And so we are just looking at everything we can for compliance, in our offerings, and just making sure that we are as compliant as possible.
Yes,
I'll
and I
also
think
add on there
are.
too,
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
absolutely.
So some of our competitors, you don't own any of the cards on their website. They don't own the cards on the website. They're selling you an image, which is ironic, given the sentiment towards NFTs.
Right.
What happens when the regulation comes for them and they have to shut down, for example, say, you know, they're using IP that they don't own and they get sued by Bandai Namco, Nintendo, you know, any of these companies, what's going to happen to your cards on their website? They're gone. You're never going to get
Yeah.
those cards.
That's so true.
So basically what could happen is someone could have an inventory on the website and they could just lose it all.
Yeah, exactly that. Meanwhile, on Shiny, we own 100% of our supply on hand. So no matter what it's backed, obviously we're compliant as well. So hopefully there would never be a situation where we're sued in any kind of way. But, you know,
Yeah.
Let's not put
It
that into the world.
No,
exactly.
no.
Yeah.
But it is a real risk. Like that would be devastating for a lot of people, I imagine, because these, you know, people spend a considerable amount of money on this.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I see people pulling Grail cards daily on competitors, you know, that don't even have their odds published, which is curious in itself. But
Yeah.
what happens when these competitors then end up getting regulated and
Well,
for your cards then?
if you look at
It's
some
not-
competitors' terms, you know, like a lot of them are a little overbearing, and especially when you don't even custody personally, right? If you're custodying at a third-party vault service, for example, for what you do own, and then your terms of service say, "Oh, you don't actually own the cards. Oh, we can ban you whenever we want. We can, you know, we can negate your ownership of NFTs. We can, you know, delete your account just because we feel like it with no appeals." Like, it's a scary situation if you start to say, "Oh, these guys are getting fined. What are they going to do?" Right? Like.
Well, it is even more ironic, really, than just selling the image when that is the problem that NFTs are supposed to fix. And in most cases with game assets, they don't, right? Because if the server ceases to exist, you know, if the game is shut down, then they're effectively worthless anyway. But with RWA, with these cards, you know, there is a physical item there. So it kind of is even more ironic that can happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll buy a little time there. And yeah, like I think, you know, it is a big thing of like obviously games, you know, we kind of say in this space of, oh, you know, even if the game shuts down or whatever happens, well, you have the NFT, right? And whether or not
Right.
that is still valuable to you if the game doesn't exist, you know, is up to you. But you know, obviously the RWA space, like these things are pointing to real items, right? So you can't have that gap where, oh, but you know, if this happens, whatever. And it's like, no, like these NFTs are items, right? Like you need to make sure that you either can sell that or transfer it if you want to, and you know, in the worst case scenario.
So like this might be an unfair question, but are you going to allow transfers of these cards?
We are trying to kind of take a, you know, the most ideal Web3 approach, I guess, to our product, right? So you know, I guess without, you know, going too far with stuff, you know, we're trying
It is to say like your cards, your keys. You know, we say that about exchanges and everything. Like you own these cards; they are your cards to do whatever you please with.
I think I can kind of see the vision starting to be built in my mind, and it makes me really excited for what you're going to deliver. Like,
I was about to show your
I think I
website.
get it.
Sorry. So if you saw an unfollow, refollow, that I'm so sorry. It made me do it. So I just kind of wanted to show everybody kind of like what you guys have built. Like
This is very much so placeholder. You know, this is just our
Yeah.
pre-registration. The actual website will be much better.
I like it. I just redid it because I was like, well, what if I haven't been here, you know? And it said already registered. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, sweet. But I really like the cards floating in the background. Like,
That's some of our actual supply as well. A little
is
alpha there.
it?
Cool.
What?
I-
What do you have on supply that's probably like your biggest flex?
For supply, we're basically targeting entry-level collectors to begin with before expanding to really high offerings. In terms of the coolest one, I picked up some tag team Gengars, which are pretty nice. It's Gengar and Mimikyu are some of my favorite Pokemon because again,
Ooh.
I'm a basic bitch. The tag team art is just really cool for it. So I got a bulk order of those. We have like 10 or 15 of them on hand.
Do you
I
like
saw the
Jigglypuff?
pictures.
He said basic bitch. I just gotta know. Are you like Jigglypuff?
Jigglypuff's cute. It's not my thing personally, but I get it.
I love Jigglypuff.
I like the song. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw you coming back from the convention with shitloads of slabs. So, you know, I'm sure you have a good selection at least.
Yeah, we picked up well over 1,000 slabs there. I'm working
Yeah.
on sorting them and everything right now. I had to just sign for a package because we got a big delivery from one of our collectors today.
I was gonna say you probably just signed for those, huh? Like you said that you had to sign something at the door.
Yeah, it's another couple hundred. to add to the supply.
I love that. Okay, so we actually have a meeting at the top of the hour, so we're gonna make sure to not take any more of your time. But we did want to do like a very quick lightning round, which we didn't have in the outline. I just added them. So if there's any questions you're like, I'm not comfortable with that, you can say pass, because there is one that Tom has in there. He's curious, so he will be reading that one.
I already asked him. I know the answer.
You did. Okay, so I think that we'll just cycle through, but between the two, you can both answer if you'd like to. Shit, where'd my outline go? I think I closed it when I closed down this website. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, I do have one more question. My bad. You want to put it in red for me? Okay, both of you are Web3 gamers now. Love reading everything that you guys have to say. So beyond Shiny, are you guys still active in the Web3 gaming community? And are there any games or projects that you're bullish on right now?
Yeah, of course, outside of being a founder, I'll always be a Web3 gaming creator. I can definitely manage both. In terms of projects I'm bullish on, it's Cambria always. Project O, in terms of players, not necessarily the chain choice. I'm not a huge fan of that one.
I told
Yeah,
Tom,
Tom.
and this is no disrespect, I do not care for that chain. Like the bridging it. I'm like,
I was just gonna say, do you
it.
remember like the one time I disagreed with you? We were arguing about bridging.
I knew that you were gonna have something to say to that. Yeah, 100%.
No, but listen
But
to
I'm
this.
the same
Listen to
way.
this. Listen to this. Me and her, we've also had out on this as well. Bridging to AVAX.
He finally was like,
Immutable.
"You're right. It doesn't bridge that." And I'm
The
like,
bridging is an issue, but it just like there's not a good TVL or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of issues that go into there. But yeah, Cambria, Project O. I'm actually Legends of Myr. I'm pretty interested in, which is
Yeah.
Night Crows essentially, but a little bit more juicy, I guess.
Wemix gets faded in this space ridiculously. Like
It's
for no
mainly
reason.
Korea, I believe, that is like a
Yeah.
huge target of theirs, so it makes sense to do
I
it.
love Project O. Everything about it. I just love the
Yeah.
graphics, the storytelling. Like, Tom, you don't like?
No, I do. I'm kind of a bit in love with Tim Juice, to be honest. Like the guy is so fucking cool. Like,
He's so cool.
yeah, he is so cool. When he speaks, it's like, you're listening to like someone just so authoritative and so knowledgeable about what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
if you've had the chance to have a conversation with him, he's a very impressive guy.
Yeah, I
Right.
met with him a few times last year. I
Yeah.
believe, a little late last year. He's been a huge fan of the project for a long time. He definitely knows what he's doing, and he's a
Yeah.
collector himself too, which is nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
His
You can see it.
office is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day
Okay.
we'll see it in Human's office. I've seen it. I've seen his desk.
Yeah, you've seen my desk setup. I posted it.
I've seen his desk, but I want to see like the full thing.
Oh yeah, because I was like, "What are you doing with that Labubu? You want to send it?" You're like, "Hell no!" I was like, "Damn, all right, I tried
Yeah,
it."
it's on my Zorro statue. It's my Zorro boo boo. It's like green and
Aren't
apple.
they like $300 for those? My son wanted
Labubus?
one. No, the specific ones, like
Oh. No, these are the pretty cheap ones. I got it at a random card shop.
really. No, like on their website for specific ones, like they have like, mashups and brands and stuff. They're like $350 plus to get those. And I wanted a Wednesday Addams one. I was like, I'm not paying $350 for that. Maybe I need to
Chat.
go back to the card shop.
Chat, it's just been a birthday. Make a day.
Pay me $350. No, I'm just kidding. I would not buy a Labubu right now.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Vanho, what?
I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get to the quick fire round. Who wants to
Let's
go?
do
first?
it.
I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Shall we go Van Ho, Luana, me, and just rotate through them?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, first question.
What?
Oh,
Why am I the first?
She's a band
Okay.
Luana.
What's the one grave card you're still personally hunting for?
Skyridge Charizard, definitely. I had an opportunity to buy one that was probably the cleanest I was going to see in my life raw to get it graded, and I missed out on it. It's been rent free in my head for like a month now.
Oh no.
Skyridge Charizard is it's the best Charizard by far.
How about you,
What
Van?
Yeah.
Oh, I prefer a lot of the cheaper, just cutesy cards. I don't know what was I for the name you had for Inhuman, but just like some Growlithe laying the grass. I'm like, I like that.
He
I don't
loves
need-
the cute cards, like the cards that you see like vendors often put out like bait for dudes'
Yeah.
girlfriends when they're going to conventions, because then the girls are like, that card's cute, I want to buy it. Those are the cards that are actually for Urban.
Yeah,
like the
yeah, those are
bubbles
ones
in
I
it,
like,
got
so.
like the neon pink gradient. Yeah, we know exactly what you
There's
mean.
ones with like jewels and charms and stuff built into the cards that are like really
Yes.
cute. It's like Radiant Collection. Yeah, it's
So
for Urban.
cute. So cute. No judgment here, guys, because I also like those cards. No. What is the best TCG of all time?
It's got to be Magic. I think that's just like indisputable at this point. It's stood for 30 years straight. Still extremely popular. They hit new growth metrics every year.
Yeah.
Has to be Magic.
Still value behind it. It's crazy. What about you, Urban? Are you on the same fence, or you're like, I'm not really into TCG?
I don't know. I as a kid, I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh before it kind of like went crazy. So I'd
That's
have I
nice.
don't know if it'd be of all time, but
Yeah. Oh,
you know the OG Yu-Gi-Oh I was definitely a big fan of.
Best TCG TV show of all time. Definitely.
That's
Dude.
the show for sure. Yeah.
Bro, I had to say it. I had to say it.
Did you say it like Pokemon though?
Yeah. But I had to do it. It was
Hey,
in
what-
my brain.
What's the most overrated mechanic in competitive gaming history?
Knockdown shields and Apex completely ruins the game. It's been stupid from day one. I've always hated them.
Oh my god.
Urban, what do you
What's-
think?
Oh,
in
yeah.
competitive gaming history, I don't even know at that point. I mean, if we're going, I'd honestly say like a one-shot sniper. If we're going competitive gaming,
Like for me, it's just fucking mulligans in TCGs. Like
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah.
fucking.
I don't like parrying. I always get hit by parrying, so I'm gonna say parrying.
What's the best game of all time?
All right. Now
Best
this one is really, really tough. Very, very hard to answer. I can't give an exact best one, but the one that like kicked off like my passion for gaming has to be Chrono Trigger. I actually have a copy of Chrono Trigger on my desk that I picked up at the convention because I had to get it for my display.
I love that. And Urban, what about you?
there's definitely a few up there. I'd have to say Civilization.
Ooh.
Okay.
My favorite right now is Silk Song. So good. I don't know why. All right. If you could permanently delete one card from existence from any TCG, what would it be and why?
I mean, there's not one particular card that I just don't like. There's a lot of them in parallel that I'd be a big fan of deleting, but not one in particular.
That was the cutest voice crack I've ever heard. I'm so sorry. We couldn't help it. We're girly here. All right. Urban.
I'm just laughing because this question is for actual Tom.
Tom is saying that question.
Wait, who?
It's the last question. He said he's already
Yeah.
asked you. But anyways, Urban.
Tom, go ahead.
Honestly, I'd go with Charizard.
Charizard.
Yeah.
Whole card.
Yeah, I am looking for a new co-founder. If anyone's interested in
Today
the,
we
amount
are
of, the amount of people I see fawn over Charizards, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't.
He's
They
so
can
cute.
get it deleted just to
Tom, are you looking for work?
I will take some.
I'll
I mean-
post as Charizard for Halloween if that's what it takes.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone cares what I think, it's any fucking counter spell ever.
Can we go with like the entirety of like Cathari decks and Shroud?
just blue. Just delete blue.
Yeah, blue.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's the next question.
I genuinely have no idea how to answer that.
If you think about it, right? Is it?
No, because it's a side. It's not a top bottom.
That's a fair
Buns are left to right. You know, if you maybe you like inverted it a little bit, but like
No,
It's
it's
different.
If that's the case, is a burger a sandwich?
yeah,
Well,
burgers
it's
are
top and
sandwich.
bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, I think burgers are sandwiches.
So why wouldn't a hot dog be a sandwich?
Because you got like the wrap around.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no.
the
because
wraparound.
The burgers have like their own menu in the menu.
If
Well,
the
it's just 'cause
bun
they did it well.
splits, is it then a sandwich?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
This is all about the bread. I see.
I'm all about buns,
See.
bun.
All about the buns.
It's all about. That
Thank you for picking this one for me. Okay. Highest conviction crypto holding.
Okay, not financial advice. I'm pretty big on Hyperliquid.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a
I
strong
mean,
it's a good
choice, to be honest.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, don't
This
buy
guy's an
it.
awful trader, by the way.
Don't buy it. I have lost so much money on this, and I'm going to continue to lose a bunch of money on it. But Crown from like the photo finish team, they
Ooh.
their original kind of promise was beautiful, and I loved it. Like their regulatory compliance was great. It was just such a breath of fresh air from everything else. And since I've bought in with size, it has been nothing but disappointment.
That's what she said. I couldn't help it. Okay.
It's all about hot dogs, isn't it? That's what's got you going.
I think
Why
it's the
do you
last
brought the
question,
hot
Tom.
dog?
It's fun though. I like it. Okay. PlayStation or Xbox?
We're both PC players.
PC, man.
But you gotta
Okay.
pick. You gotta pick
You
which
have
one
to
you hate
pick.
the least.
Xbox
I grew up
controller.
on an Xbox, so I guess Xbox.
I have alternated with every generation, so
Same.
I've always felt
Whatever
like I
comes
made the
out.
wrong choice every time.
Now that
I
we have
am not
PCs,
going to
though.
ask that question.
It's
I'm
your question,
sorry.
Luana.
No,
It's your
no.
turn.
Let
No,
him
I
ask
am
it. Let him
not
ask
asking
it.
that question. That's something you
That
have
is
to
a
find
Tom
out.
question. He's curious. We are
Okay.
gonna hide in shame.
Yeah, and
We'll
humans
go-
got this answer.
We'll go to Urban first. Tits or ass?
Oh, I'm passing this to a human here, man.
Ass, always. It's always ass.
ass.
Always ass.
Always.
It's not even a
I should
question.
agree.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Thanks
Okay.
for indulging us.
Yeah. Or no, excuse you. And thanks for indulging Tom.
Yes. I really love the fact that we were able to actually learn so much about what you guys are building, and especially getting to meet you, finally talking to you um, in human, and definitely meet you, Orman. Thank you so much for coming to this stream. It has been amazing to share with you and learn more about what you guys are building.
Yeah. And from my angle, it's clear that you guys have the community at the heart. You've built traction without marketing because people resonate with your authenticity. Apparently, I can't talk today. Your authenticity.
As someone who's working with games and as someone who regularly shits on games, it's really nice to see someone turn founder. As someone with a strong critic, turn founder, and obviously execution is the hardest part of what you're doing. So it's going to be really interesting to follow you and see if you. I know you can deliver, but it's going to be nice to see it pan out and to silence all the haters.
No.
This
We
man's
want you to hate
hate-watching.
watch.
Yeah,
Hate watch.
He's watching right now.
He said, "Yeah, I want to see you deliver."
He said execution's the hardest part. Let's see it.
I'm already pre-registered. Ready. I'm down.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, at least you pre-registered. You knew what the website and everything, right?
Okay,
That's
hold
good.
up. I did it on mobile the first time. I want to clarify that.
I registered today.
And did you see? I shared my screen. It said already registered, even though I did everything again.
I tried
I
my
guess I
best to
just
come to
didn't
the
focus.
AMA as well, but I couldn't make it. I'm really sorry.
You didn't
You
make it.
didn't even go. I'm so sorry.
Well, you very bad.
But before we wrap it up and close it up, is there anything that you guys would like to say before you guys go?
Normally I'd leak something here, but give us a couple weeks. Thank you guys for having us on. It was fun.
Yeah, we've had a good
It was
laugh.
really great.
Thank you
Massive.
for coming by.
Yeah, massive thanks to both of you for joining us. From calling out the flaws in the other platforms, and turning that lens on yourself, is kind of proof that critique and competition can both evolve into creation, which is a beautiful line one of the girls wrote for me. To everyone watching, thank you. If you haven't checked out Shiny yet, give it a look. As always, keep building, keep questioning, and keep your build mode on.
Let's
Talk to you guys
go.
later.
Thank you so much
Later.
for coming.
Thank you again,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.